Hi everybody, it's Miranda and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to share with you guys my top 5 books that I would recommend you read for Halloween. Real quickly, these books are not going to be all of that like bone-chilling scary. They're mostly going to be kind of creepy and kind of spooky, but they're not going to keep you up at night. So perfect for anybody who wants to read some books for Halloween, but they don't want to read scary stuff. So the first book that I have for you guys is The Silver Kiss by Annette Curtis Kloss. This is my all-time favorite vampire story. It is about a girl named Zoe who is living with her mom, and her mom has cancer, and just that whole battle of it is making her feel kind of lonely, and she's not really sure what to do. And then she discovers Simon, a vampire who is also battling his own demons and also is experiencing a bout of loneliness. This book is really good. I highly recommend it. I love the way that this author portrays vampires in this story, and this story is, although they do fall in love, it is about so much more than just falling in love. There's no real like chosen one quest. It's a very down to earth kind of story, as down to earth as you can get with a vampire tale. It kinda, I would make it similar to A Monster Calls. If anybody has read that book, this has probably got the same tone to it. So I highly recommend this vampire story for anybody who wants a change from the usual vampire novels. The second book that I have for you guys is on my current October reads, so I'm still reading it, but I'm going to recommend it anyway because it is just that good. It is The Lantern'S Ember by Colleen Houck. Colleen is my all-time favorite author. I have all of her books except for her newest one. Sorry, I don't have that yet. But this book is amazing. This is a retelling of the legend of Sleepy Hollow. So if you guys kind of like that tone, this book is definitely a more kind of modern teenage retelling of that legend. It is amazing. It is about a witch named Ember O'Dare, and she has this sort of guardian that watches over her named Jack. And she isn't really sure like what his purpose is, and she's the only one who can see him. And one day he tells her about this amazing place for supernaturals called the Otherworld. And naturally she wants to go. This story is perfect for anybody who wants to get in the spirit of fall. There is no real scary creepiness to it so far that I've read. It's, despite the appearance of the cover, it's not really scary. It's more of, think of it more as like a Halloween fantasy than a Halloween scary book, is how I would describe this novel. The author does an amazing job. My favorite part so far is just the Halloween festival, the Harvest Festival that they celebrate, All Hallows Eve, and it just is amazing. She references a lot of like older like witch stories, and she definitely has done a little bit of research into the supernatural beings that are in this story. I recommend this to anybody who is looking for a modern twist to the legend of Sleepy Hollow. So the next book that I have for you guys is a manga. It is called Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I don't really read manga all that often. This kind of was a unique one that caught my attention, and because of the title mostly. And then I decided that I was going to try reading it, and I was not expecting it to be so enchanting as it was. I watched the anime first and then I read the manga afterwards. I will openly admit that. But the manga is really good and features some stuff that isn't necessarily in the anime. So I recommend this. I was looking for something to kind of get me excited for Halloween, and this book definitely did so. This book is about a girl named Nene who who believes in all of these occult rumors about the 7 wonders or the 7 mysteries of her school. One of them is the Hanako-san of the bathroom. So she, who is said to grant wishes if you summoned her. And when Nene summons Hanako-san, she finds out that Hanako is actually a boy. So this leads her on this journey for helping Hanako kind of maintain the balance between humans and other supernaturals. So it is amazing. There are some chilling, grotesque scenes in this story, but mostly it's funny. It's kind of gothic in nature, kinda. And it's a little bit got some romantic tension, of course. But it does have some scary stuff. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a new sort of ghost story. So this next one that I have for you guys, you wouldn't necessarily guess that it was a Halloween read, but I recommend it as such. It is called Splintered by A.g Howard. This book is a kind of dark gothic retelling of Alice in Wonderland, and it was the way that this author transforms Wonderland into this eerie kind of dark place is what makes it a Halloween read. So let's see. This book is about a girl named Alyssa Gardner who can hear the voices of the bugs and flowers. And she attunes this to the fact that every woman in her family has kind of gone insane, including her mother. And one day she ends up remembering this moth guy that was in her childhood, and learns about how they are connected, and she ends up going to Wonderland. So she ultimately finds out that her past is tied with the real, Wonderland that was based off of Lewis Carroll's novel. So she ultimately goes there to right some wrongs and attempt to break this supposed curse that has been placed on her family, which is what's causing the madness to be spread from generation to generation. This had some really eerie scenes, some very dark scenes in this book. So much so that there were a couple places where I had to put it down and set it aside because it was just so eerie and grotesque. Right from the moment you get into Wonderland, it just bombards you with the demons and all the scariness. You could just tell right when you get into the book, right when you get into Wonderland. So yes, I recommend this to anybody who is a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland and wanted a more scary, kind of grotesque retelling. Okay, so I'll admit that the last book that I have for you guys isn't really a book. It's more of a whole classification of books. So the last one that I have for you guys, my number 5, is classic horror. Just any classic horror. I am a huge fan of that. It's scary, but it's not scary enough to keep me up at night. I think I've seen scarier since then. Scary movies have gotten a lot scarier. So the ones that I personally have in my collection are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Phantom of the Opera, Frankenstein, and Dracula. Dracula is the only one that I haven't read yet, so I'm hoping to read this soon. If not, maybe next Halloween it'll be my featured read, like the Lantern'S Ember was this year. But really any classic horror that you guys have, like Dorian Gray, The Turning of the Screw, things of that nature. Anything that would be considered as classic horror, I recommend that you guys read. So that's all that I got for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. And feel free to comment down below any other kind of stories, scary Halloween creepy stories that you would recommend for people to check out. I will leave all these books linked with their Goodreads pages linked in the description box. That way you can go check them out too if you were interested in any of them. And if you're interested in seeing more content from me, then I highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel. And if you're looking for something new to read, I have a YA fantasy, not really scary, but kind of Halloween-ish. So, I have a YA fantasy novel, The Curse of Sokotoa, that I will leave linked down below if you're interested in checking that out. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!